We've got another story now that's got a Halloween twist or connection to it. It's a famous story about a guy, and this dates back all the way to the early 1900s.
That's right. It happened here in Detroit on Halloween Day in 1926, when the most famous magician known in the world, Harry Houdini, passed away.
Photographer Alex Atwell retraces the final days in a story that is uniquely Detroit.
Harry Houdini emerged as magic's first superstar. He was a magician and illusionist. He largely made his name as an escape artist. This guy was the master of hype. He knew how to captivate an audience. There were a lot of imitators and a lot of people who would copy his ideas, and so he was always pushing himself to make sure that he stayed ahead of the fray. It is a phenomenally big deal when Harry Houdini comes to town. His final visit to Detroit in 1926 is really on the heels of his Montreal visit. What happens in Montreal is that there's a young man who comes to his room who takes Houdini up on one of his challenges, if you will. Houdini is notorious for saying, you know, I can withstand any blow to the stomach. And someone does, in fact, take him up on that challenge. Houdini is not necessarily prepared to receive it. You know, this kid's real young. Houdini's 52. That incident, in some ways, shook him to his core. He arrives in Detroit. They make their way to the Garrick Theater, which is where his performance has been scheduled, in spite of his physical condition. As the show begins to progress, that's when his illness sort of kicks in more significantly, and he ends up passing out once or twice. He's revived. He kind of rises to the occasion again, makes his way back onto stage, finishes his performance, but it's at the conclusion of that performance where they end up taking him to the hospital. They take him to Grace Hospital. They determine that his appendix needs to be removed. There's an issue of some poisoning, and so he's got multiple issues going on. He's really not expected to survive for very long. In fact, it's just a number of hours. But this guy has, you know, such a sheer will and determination to stay above the fray. He survives for several more days. The doctors are not able to save him. He passes away Thursday, October 31st. That is Halloween. The world is mortified, quite naturally. You know, the world is just mortified, shocked, stunned. So on Cass Avenue, we have the William H. Hamilton Funeral Home, the location of the old funeral home, and that's where Houdini's body was taken after he passed away on Halloween. So his body would have been embalmed there and prepared for transport. He pushed beyond and had the wherewithal to perform for 2.5 hours is almost unthinkable. It's interesting in that an individual who in a sense spends his whole life sort of escaping from the grips of death, you know, ends up dying here in October, and he was not able to overcome this particular hurdle.
What a piece of Detroit history. It's uniquely Detroit indeed. And we're outside now with this school bus that's all painted up. We've got Teresa Leslie Robinson, who's here from the Detroit Bus Company. It's good to see you.
Hi, it's good to see you as well. Thank you.
Thanks so much. So you have a tour that will follow in the footsteps of Houdini. Tell us more about this.
It's a tour that highlights the final days of Houdini's life, and we go through the 5 stops or the 5 stations that he visited before he ultimately died at Grace Hospital. Yeah. So it's a very interesting tour.
And a lot of people have lost track of that whole story, that he was here and how it all came to pass, right?
We really have. Yeah, there's been a lot of folklore, I would say, surrounding, you know, how he died. Some people think he actually died on stage as a result of his performance, but the story is quite the contrary. So we really have a fun time sort of setting the record straight, if you will.
Well, I want to go on your bus. I know where it's a school bus, but it's not a plain old bus on the outside. I mean, let's go inside for just a minute. Tell me the story, because the Detroit Bus Company has a very unique mission here, helping kids and families, right?
Absolutely. The Detroit Bus Company was founded in 2011, our goal is really twofold. It's all about tours and transit, but we do have a program called Youth Alliance Transition or Transit Program, where we help kids move from after-school programs, getting them to school, really servicing them in all of their transportation needs and capacities. So it's a very affordable, a very reliable method to get kids to and fro.
And how does that work as a parent? I mean, if I have a kid who's in need of that, how do I connect with you?
You connect with your school, actually, and we set it up through the schools. We try to make sure that the transportation is affordable, that it's reliable. We have a dispatch person that's always available, and you can always reach someone by phone to get all of the instructions that you need.
Well, what a great blessing that is to a lot of families. So the tour of Houdini, and you have other tours as well. That's kind of around the edges of your great mission. But what else do you do then?
Well, all of our tours are Detroit-themed. By far the most popular one is the Dark Side of Detroit. We had to bring it back from last year, but that's a tour that kind of covers all of the mysterious kind of untold stories of Detroit, like the Purple Gang. There's a little bit of Jimmy Hoffa business rolled in. So all of that kind of mystique, all of the stuff that people really don't like to talk about, for maybe 5 or 6 days we talk about it, and then we put it back to bed. So we have that. We also have a Welcome to Detroit tour. We're super excited about a tour that's still in the can. It's in the development stages, but it's really focused on children, and it's a way of introducing some educational pieces, but kind of a wacky fun side too. So we're really excited about that. We have an Overspray tour as well, and last but not least, probably the most popular is our Drunks of Antiquity.
Well,
for all the obvious reasons.
Wow. Well, nice to see you. Thanks for coming by this morning and bringing the big bus.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much.
Toddy, I'm headed back to you.